said that they put millions of money. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, save facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood, Slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. That was designed fast for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man, busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel, he nice but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill folk.
We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere other than one that is not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again, and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk. I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl? I'm talking about another gun. We here now? Hey, look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas. We burn the crib now. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga. I don't fear clown. Silences make it sound like raindrop. That's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war. I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex. That's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga. I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga. I read what Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert, another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, it's an exorcism, watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with ya. Fuck the opposition, I see vision, let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening, is it effective? If revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jacob. So Tower War, we gon' run the summer, it's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't just do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it Young Pay. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him, this shit light. It ain't about who got this gun, it's about who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you won't never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son. Yeah, this the real McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I enjoy. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Let's see if you could wait till whatever you're doing finish if you want to. We already on? No, sir. Wednesday scripture breakdown, all right? And this Wednesday, for sure, we're going to lose followers, we're going to lose friends, we're going to lose family, because nobody going to like the fact that I'm going to be calling them a drug addict all night long. You think you just indulging, you think you just doing what everybody does, when really you're just a drug addict. You're just a drug addict, and you have less strength than you actually think you do. You know what I mean? You're just a horrible drug addict, and you would not, it's the reason you can't say no to most things. The reason you can't say no to most things because that drugs don't take away your ability to fight, right? That damn weed you're into, which is what everybody starts with, right? And weed or with cigarettes, that's what everybody starts with. All right. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll pass. You see right here? See, Christ turned this into wine. Once this turned, I ain't want to say perfect. Once it turned grape, some power up here. I can't see if that turned grape. Yeah, it's already brown. So I'm gonna pass. Too hard. You'll get down though. Don't get down too much. All right. Okay. We're definitely gonna go into the 420 and reveal to you yourself, because you think you functioning normally when you're not. You know what I mean? You're absolutely not. I think tomorrow is the 420, where everybody gonna be celebrating being a damn weed head. You know what I mean? Being an absolute weed head. So there was a pen on top here. Was it that? Do they write? These two right here. Yeah. Anyone. All right. So, any questions? If not, we're gonna go into it straight away. Go ahead.
Just a quick.
Most right.
Quick breakdown again on one.
Somebody should monitor that TikTok too for questions, all right?
I got my phone.
No sweat.
Just a quick breakdown again on the One West in the scriptures. Just in general breakdown. Like I don't have any scriptures for it. I was asking in general. One West in the scriptures.
You mean like UPK in the Bible?
Nah, the One West part. Like the
One
UPK,
West.
I know the small sanctuary.
So like I like this cord around this thing is hot. This cord should not be Yeah, that's fine right there. So yeah, go ahead.
I know that for the UPK, the scriptures, you got like the little sanctuary and a few of those. That I was referring to the just the One West in general. I know praying, but just somebody would ask, why do y'all say One West?
Because that's the address of the school. Like why is Christ referred to Jerusalem?
Okay.
Why does the scriptures talk about Mount Zion? It's why does King Vaughn sing about 63rd? It's just it's referencing something. It's like it's like saying people from who live in Virginia, what do you always say? Over the bridge or VA? You say over the bridge, right? VA. Okay. I want something a little bit more okay, it's almost like a term of endearment because of the address of the school. That's where 1 West comes from, right? That's the address of the school, 1 West 125th Street, because there's also East 125th Street. You get the point? Go ahead.
Oh, okay, like I guess it's in Woodbridge, they call it Hoodbridge. Oh.
Yeah, okay, it's kind of like that, but but this here there's no variation on it. That's the address, so it's not 1 West is not. You thought it was like some referring with the scriptures.
I know the praying was to the east, but I was just trying to see if it was if I had to bring out scripture behind it, like even what you're saying right now as far as that endearment. If I wanted to give precept that I could use Christ used in Jerusalem, I could use those.
Okay, I wouldn't even get into this. Is somebody asking for a breakdown or somebody finding out why we say 1 West?
No, this is my question. Like in general, if I had to give out, nobody's ever asked me that question. Why do I say 1 West? Nobody's ever asked me that.
Okay.
But just in general, if somebody would ask me that, my answer shouldn't be more so precept. It should be more so.
It's the address of the school. That's why it's the address. It's like trying to think of an address where people don't even say the whole.
Madison Square Garden. But that's
No.
the actual place.
If somebody say, hey, where you at tonight? I will be in the Morgan. Where is that? That's Adams Morgan. That's like DC slang for Adams Morgan. Right. Nobody ain't gonna say 53 18th Street Northwest. They'll just say Morgan. I'm hanging in Morgan. Go ahead.
Just like you was teaching me the big chair.
Big chair. You know what I mean? Big chair is so iconic. It's just that's the address of the school. 1 West 125th Street. And the 1 West, just because of the prestige of the school, power of the school, just the whole thing, even the 125th Street, Harlem, it's like every one part of it is just iconic because of who we are. It's not, I wouldn't make it too much more than that. You get the point?
That was
no, sir. Anybody else? Anything online? Go ahead.
Yeah, there's a question online from Yahanna. It says, "Select, sir, can I get a breakdown on Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 10?"
Proverbs 31 and 10?
Kind.
Let's get it, please. Somebody grab it, huh?
What was that?
Proverbs 31.
Proverbs 31
and 10.
Got the book of Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies.
What that mean? What's his name? Yaquatiza? What that mean, Yaquatiza, is you should go do Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and bet and roll dice and sell everything you have because you can't pay for a good woman. That's what that means. Like a good woman, her price is just like you can't put a value to her worth. You get the point. You can't put a value. Just think. Don't think getting a woman today where you just slide in the DMs or you pull up on her on the bar. Think you had to go to her father and negotiate a dowry. For a virtuous woman, that price is far above rubies, meaning these is precious stones the father gonna ask you for. You understand what I'm saying? Just think in that. That's why it's relative to her price is far above rubies. You get the point? Because our culture is how much you want, sir? Salak, sir. Because it's just too fucking steep. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to bring that thing down. You're trying to, get the point? But really, no matter what price it is, a virtuous woman, you're gonna this is the spirit behind it. A virtuous woman, no matter what price that dowry is, you're gonna realize you get a bargain. You're gonna realize you get her for the low. Versus what? What's the flip side?
You pay nothing for
Nope. That's not the flip side. That's how it is today. Go ahead. You pay for her, and she's such a good sister. To you, it's like, damn, I know it costs this, but shit, I might owe this father some more money because he, you know. But what's the flip side? Come on.
If you pay the dowry and then she's not that, you feel like
you feel like you
pay too much.
Oh. So I know what you want me to do. Shit. This is what you want me to do, you know what I mean? You looking at her every goddamn time she tilts her head, roll her eyes, do the old turkey neck thing when they this, that, and you just seeing all them zeros leaving your bank account. And you're like, this fucking bitch. Yeah, boy. Can't believe I paid so much for this motherfucker. You're trying to see if you can recoup your money. You're trying to do something because you done paid too much. But a good sister, her price, you got a bargain. Whatever you pay for her, it's just, you know, the Lord was with you, and the brother gave you a deal, a good deal on his daughter because she's virtuous. She have a ton of skill. You can't pay for half the shit she do. And then they start running down everything she could do that makes her virtuous, right? Any more on it?
Oh, cut. Last, sir. That was it on that scripture.
No, so you could keep going a little bit just so the brother understand.
Cut. Verse 11. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
Right? The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. What does that mean? This is one of her many virtues. So it's saying a virtuous woman, her price is far above rubies. Rubies is extremely rare and extremely expensive. When you look at rubies, they're very, like real rubies are very, very rare, very expensive. So that's her virtues. Then they start listing her virtues. So read it again.
Come. Verse 11. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her.
The heart of her husband does safely trust in her. What does that mean? Go ahead.
That means he ain't got to worry about all them other Jakes is trying to slide in the DMs. She's blocking everything.
So Jakes alone be trying to slide in black women's DMs? You ain't see all them white boys playing NFL with them sisters on their hands? Shit, forget Jake. Sisters is trying to slide in your rib DM. You know what I mean? Okay, it's that too. That's the immediate thing most brothers think about. But there's more shit, right? Y'all saw what happened with that football player, what y'all call soccer, of course, because y'all, you know. But the rest of the world calls it football because you use your foot and a ball, right? And he makes so much goddamn money. He's young as shit too. He's like 24, early 20s. He done married some old dragon arc, right? Some old dragon. But of course, football pays a lot of money internationally. A ton of, ridiculous money. There's no sport in America that pays you. The top sport in America that the highest salary is an average player internationally. So this dude, he went to the World Cup, made a ton of money. He's from Morocco, which means the oil ties. He's in his prime. His salary is probably 500,000 euros a week. Do the math. Bitch decides she's going to try to divorce him, right? Did she try to divorce him because she has another man? Anybody?
Well, they didn't say this, that according to the so-called story of the public, no.
No. Why she try to divorce him?
Okay, at first we didn't know, but as far as the story was saying, he got a rape case and he has rape case and some other stuff.
That's the next thing. A ton of them footballers be having rape cases because they attend them parties. You get the point? But they're targets because the amount of money they make, they're just targets. So he had this rape case. I believe it got dismissed. I ain't too sure. But she tried to divorce him and try to go for the usual 50-50 split. And of course, he, being a heathen, following what Jake does, right? This is what, with that story, everybody talking about he's so smart and he's man of the year. Iverson did that shit years ago. When they came for a ton of Iverson's money, he had a lot of his stuff in his friend's name. He had a few homies who he moved around with from Norfolk. I think it's Norfolk he's from. right? I think it's Norfolk or Virginia Beach, somewhere. But I think it's that whole area, to be honest. And that friend who died, who he say practice, that's that friend from way back then. Then he have other homies who he always keep close. And a lot of his money, he started sliding over. So when it came time to break bread, gotcha, bitch. There was none. You get the point? 50 cents, same way. He was paying his son's mother a ton of money a month. I think it was something like $18,000 a month or $12,000 a month. The Forbes come up with all the money he was making on tour. His baby mother's friends tell her, bitch, you could get some more if you take him to court. Goes to court, and of course the judge says that you've been paying too much and reduces the thing to way less than what he was paying her freely. You get the point? Because the evil that she could do you is not just adultery. You understand? The evil that she could do you is she could make your life a living hell without adultery. And she could swear she love you. You get the point? But this, a good woman, a virtuous woman whose price is far above rubies, your heart could safely trust in her. Meaning you don't ever have to wonder. She'll never put you in a position where you have to wonder. And that is, a peace of mind for any man. Any man could tell you, yeah, I'll pay for that. Because you get so many examples of it, right? Go ahead. Shapat, do me a favor. You could hit this here twice for me.
And then you get to see it talking to your family or brothers or guys that do your world. A lot of my cousins talk to me, ask me for advice, and I got one cousin scared that his girl gonna put him on, his baby gonna put him on child support, and
it's rough.
And ask questions of how to deal with women, and I just sit back and see, I don't, due to I.S.U.P.K, the bar of Yahanna,
yep,
you don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about this with my woman at all. Like the child support, the money issue. I never had an argument.
We have arguments in here, but not over that shit. That shit is not even what child support. You didn't tell me you want to commit suicide. What the fuck we talking about? You suicidal now? That's never our issue. You get the point? You in the world right now. You gambling. You're making a big gamble, brother, between the STDs and the spiritual lust that's going on. When I say spiritual lust, meaning the atmosphere right now in the world is so lust-filled. I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about just lusting after everything and anything and not ever wanting to go through the process of something. You get the point? There's a process for everything. There's a process to cook food. You got to cut up them ingredients. You got to wash it. You got to season the chicken. You got to boil the rice. You got to do something. Most times, most people who cook a lot, by the time the food done, you ain't even hungry no more. You get the point? But there's a process. But everybody just rather go to the drive-thru. I'm just giving an example. I'm not knocking anybody who has to pick up something. But I'm saying that's the life we live in today, where it's not, there's nobody who actually wants to go through the process because the process is longer. It's harder. It's just take the shorter route, more efficient route. But that's not really, it's not conducive for life. It's just not the best way, right? With some situations. Right. So to answer the question, your quarters are, right? Just continue reading in Proverbs 31 and you'll see all her virtues. Virtues means skill or certain characteristics that she have or her character that she possesses. Really, skill is what you want to look for, but not just skill of being an accountant or a nurse or whatever professionally. She could have skill in being patient. She could have skill in being disciplined. Go ahead. Being loyal. Salaki, go ahead.
I was going to use the precept would say, and the apocrypha would say, a mind well instructed.
A mind well instructed is good as well, right? She's able to receive instructions. She's clear-minded, right? She ain't celebrating 420 tomorrow, right? Where she full of cloudy. You get it, point? Go ahead.
There's another question online.
Mm-hmm. Right, so just the brother could just just read on, but from that mindset of this is a sister that possesses a lot of skill, a lot of talent, a lot of character, and you really getting like you're really getting like an MVP teammate. Like if you really want to think about it, you're getting somebody who is not a liability to the squad. This is an advantage. This is somebody who, you how you say you get buckets. That's a bucket. And she no, I shouldn't say that. That's not well, the comparison. You get the point. But she could walk on the team and help you. She could help you. She could carry. She's able to carry you when you can't carry the team. Like that's something crazy. You know, much people, that's the end of the marriage if you lose the slavery. You lose the slavery, you don't even want to come home. You leaving the house every day to lie to her because you're so scared that she will hurt you. That's not a life to live. You get the point? So that's it. All right. Hope the brother understand. Go ahead, Ad.
So there's a question online from his name is Dude Trippin'. He says, Shalom,
What?
brothers. I didn't know weed was bad. Can you tell me why?
Well, weed isn't bad, Ak. That's like how people will say, kill all the pigs. The pigs ain't bad. It's what you do with the pig. You get the point? Like weed isn't bad. It's like, the weed ain't evil. You get the point? Just like what? Alcohol isn't evil. You get the point? So some people have a aversion to weapons. So you have a gun or something. Oh my God, the gun is not evil. It's what you do with it that's evil. So when you say, you want to probably rephrase it, it'll help you understand it better. Weed is not bad. Being a drug addict is. You get the point? Being a dope head, a dope fiend is. Right? Go ahead. You got the answer?
Sex isn't bad.
Give him a hand. I give me slow clap on that one. I'm gonna raise you what? Sex with a woman. That's excellent. You gotta clear it up for these fools around because you have some old benchers down there in Wonderland in the internet land talking about yes, he's right. He's right. No, nigga, not for you. You get the point? So weed is not bad, brother. Weed is not evil. What you do with it is what is the evil. Go ahead.
So there's another brother online. Jaheem says, if a doctor prescribes you marijuana or Percocets, is it still unlawful?
Hell no. It's a prescription. Like the doctor could prescribe you ibuprofen. What's the other strong one? Codeine, Oxycontin, Xanax. They could prescribe you all them things. But of course, if you don't use it right, if you faking the pain so you could get more, you're a drug addict. And which is the thing about it. Why is the doctor prescribing you? That's what I want to get to, though. I want to walk up to that. Why is the doctor prescribing you marijuana? Just explain that to me, right? Why is he? For what? Like what? You can't get some ibuprofen or muscle relaxers. There's other muscle relaxers in them. Like, why is he providing you, with marijuana for your glaucoma, right? You got glaucoma. Right, for your glaucoma. There's glasses for that shit now, nigga. There's laser therapy, outpatient laser treatment for that shit. So tell me why. Well, what you want to do is, if you have a weed prescription, a marijuana prescription, you want to call the Israelite school at UPK and get counsel to see if you should continue that prescription. That's what you should do, because what you might find is that you're a drug addict. You're a weak drug addict. That's what you are. You can't say no. You don't have a fight in you. And if you have a woman who's a drug addict, brother, that's a community woman. That's that's our woman, not me though. But then that's their woman too. If she has a prescription, right? That weed is destroying your life. That whole, and okay, it's not just the weed. It's the whole drug addiction thing. It's destroying your life. You have no fight in you. You want to be in a constant state of depression, and you'll never change your life, which is what really needs to happen. You need to be able to change your everyday movements so that you don't feel the effects of whatever trauma you went through, and that would help you. Not going to get high. You get the point? Anything else, Bukwat? And somebody had their hand up. You had your hand up?
No, I was gonna say that it was a question and then it was a comment. It was that with these cats that be going to get these prescriptions about marijuana, and anybody I've ever ran into at least, like furthermore, they go there asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody will advise them, hey, just just go get it.
Yeah, I heard I could use this for that.
Constantly. Like that'd be 9 points. People I've ever heard that say, what if a doctor prescribes it to you? Like 9 out of 10 times that people that got it, it's people that went there and asked for it. It's like going to ask for oxy. You know what I'm saying? Going to ask for a certain drug. You gonna ask the drug. I think I need marijuana. I think I need THC.
Exactly.
I think I need a Xanax for this type of pain. You already go on there with the advised medicine that you think that you need.
Right.
But when they say medically prescribed marijuana, there's a question. The doctor don't tell you to smoke. Like it's not a.
I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell the doctor tells you.
Looks like.
Brother, shit. I know what the old shit used to look like in the foil before you all modernized the shit and put them in the little square. Yeah, that's the original shit, Barack. That little thing that you all used to be getting in the little zip bag. That's brother shit. Listen, I come from the thing where the foil is big and long, and that is full there, and you gotta. Get that thing down and get them seeds out and build your own thing. Now they gave you some prescribed, zip shit. should have branding on it. Some old spooky clown face, and this is the one. I don't know about that shit there. Y'all can take your chance with that shit if you want. Thank the Lord, I found the truth back then. I don't know how you're putting that shit down now. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
In the court system, everybody works with each other, the lawyer, the judge, everybody. Doctors working with the pharmaceutical companies and all that. That's one big industry.
Well, listen, I'm gonna give you one further. You're working with Satan if you can't give up these drugs, right? You're working against the spirits of the Lord, right? Any more, Bukwash?
Lot, sir.
Okay, no sweat. Anybody else? Question? All right. If not, give me somebody pull up the origin of 420. Right? Any article is fine. They should all tell you the same thing. All right. Also, I need the definition of DUI.
If I could, so I have a question about the phone. The Wi-Fi. I don't know why it was initially connected, but it's not connected.
Which phone you using? Because which phone you normally use?
This one. It's I don't know, for whatever reason it's not connected right now, and so I'm using the hotspot. But
let me see it. You sure it's this one you normally use? It's this, isn't this small iPhone, right?
Well, that was the backup.
Okay, I know I put a password on 2 phones.
This one and that one.
Okay, yeah, just get them 2 phones up then.
oh, good.
All right, go ahead.
I have an article from the News Observer.
Okay.
It says, why does everyone associate 420 with marijuana on April 20th? Here's what we learned. Whether you know a lot about marijuana or very little, chances are you've heard that the number 420 are particularly significant in the weed culture. But what does it mean? And why do weed aficionados hold April 20th and 4:20 p.m. so sacred? According to Time magazine, 420 can be traced back to 1971 when a group of 5 students at San Rafael High School in Marin County, California, began meeting at 4:20 p.m. to smoke weed.
Right. So this is where it started, right? A bunch of bums, future dropouts and just, unathletic. Yeah, I mean, just ridiculous. And they meet by this wall or some bleacher or something to get high. A ton of dude, a ton of man, a ton of bathing, a ton of just antisocial. I want to say antisocial, meaning in the real sense of the word. Like you're anti-society to the point. That's where it started from. Like your 420 started at a time when, for us, we were still getting just after civil rights. That civil rights movement you're talking about, what, 1971? right? This is just after when it just starting to pass and black people starting to so-called get integrated, you know, officially or politically. And this is a time where the oppressor, he's enjoying his life. This is also the time of what? Woodstock and, you know, the cocaine era starting and the hippies and all that type of shit. And now today, you who's supposed to be separate from this place, you celebrating that whole 420 culture that started with some old high school students with some wall somewhere. Did it tell you about the wall part? Take it down today. They call them the Waldos, right? Right. You know why they call them Waldos? Because they used to lean on a wall to get high. So they call them Waldo. What the fuck is that shit at? And you know, all tomorrow, brother, I remember when that thing first get popular in DC. Brother, you could be in the car and you get in contact from other cars. Don't be at a traffic light tomorrow morning, you know, with this 420, brother. You're going to be smoking the same thing nigga in the car next to you smoking. Because the car is going to be fully chiefed out. Go ahead.
So that brings new thought to where's Waldo? Why they looking for him? You know?
Waldo High somewhere. That's where he at. Right? Any more on it, dog?
Concert.
Go ahead.
Says the actual number 420 don't have much symbolic significance. Time reported in 2016. Instead, the students, and they named them Steve Capper, Dave Reddick, Jeffrey Noel, Larry Schwartz, and Mark Ravitch.
Yeah, that ain't sound like no nigga nowhere in sight.
Chose to get together at 4:20 p.m. because by that time, extracurricular activities were usually over. High schools engaged in an activity that was strictly illegal at the time started to use 420 as a code for marijuana. Time reported. Years later, one member of the group Reddicks got a gig working as a roadie for Grateful Dead bassist Phil Lesh. By 1990, a group of Grateful Dead fans was spreading the word of the ritual by distributing flyers, according to Time. Invited people to smoke 420 on 420 at 420.
It's stupid. That's like, imagine 9/11 is 9/11, and around 9/11 is something, and 9/11 is just extra nonsense because you just don't want to change who you are. Right? You have some sort of trauma, some sort of thing that you live with that bothers you. And instead of fighting it or becoming somebody new, you basically try to make yourself forget it through self-medicating. Right? That's where the whole, you know, weed thing starts, right? You get introduced to it by some friends who have just horrible parents, or maybe parents yourself, brothers and sisters, whoever it is, you get introduced to it first. Experimenting, right? You experimenting with them cigarettes first. Then you start experimenting with that marijuana. So that's the cheapest and most accessible thing you could get. At least it was. Now everybody getting, you know, their hands on these pills, which is just absolutely deadly. And that's really what that demon wants from you with smoking, right? Which is what the issue here is. So what the brother asked earlier, he didn't know weed was bad. Weed is not bad. It's a plant. It's like a plant like any other plant. What you do with it is what makes it evil or makes you evil. You get the point? Go ahead.
So, same guy, Dude Trippin says, these raises MF so thick. I smoke to alleviate the pain. I can't do that no more.
The pain of what, nigga? The pain of what? The pain of what? Let's start there. You smoke to alleviate the pain. Pain from what? All right. Or what kind of pain you're in. Right. What he said he's racist, what?
He's racist.
Oh, you talking about me?
No, I don't know. Slag, sir.
So what the fuck you talking about? I think he talking about me. I'm offended. I'm absolutely offended. Salaki, go ahead.
Because while you know, while he or she is responding, like when somebody say like there be many answers when you ask somebody why they getting high, right?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody say it help me sleep, or it help you eat, it's like, okay, if knowing that there's other things that can help you sleep, what's the spur behind deciding to stick with weed? Like, but when it comes to a lot of
okay, give me something else that could help you sleep.
there's sleep medication. I don't know the names of these things, but there's literally you can go to CVS or something and get it literally says help you sleep. It's like it's medicine for sleeping.
Okay.
It's medicine for eating. It's medicine for.
That's true. Okay. The over the counter stuff is really not a good argument for them because they'll say it's not strong enough.
But majority of them, and I can say that I would say from experience, like in the sense of like confession of for the soul. But
Somebody hold Proverbs 16 and 27, starting with that, all right? Go ahead, though.
In a full, like, honest thing, like, of course, I can't speak for because I've never done a statistic, but just think about the obvious and just knowing, like, Jake in the world, I ain't never known nobody that actually tried sleeping medication, but would say that, it helps me sleep, or tried, different things that didn't help them eat, like 9 out of 10 times, and, in this generation and probably before, whatever drug was the main drug to go to, like that was your first advisement before actually going to get some, long worded scientific drug that, from a doctor that's prescribed to you to help you with your condition. It's like that's the main thing that damn near you go through a death. The first thing a friend tells you you want to smoke. That's the first thing they tell you.
Okay, well then that ain't having to do with sleep. That particular part there is more so what I was talking about before. You get introduced to it by some friend or family member, and you experimenting with it because people in our circles don't die every day. You go to a funeral now, next funeral might be 4 or 5 years. So now, how would you know what will help you, stop the grief or get over the grief? Here, try this. They're trying it, they're experimenting. So with that part is the experimental stage, right? Right. So now, for people like who say, they needed to, stop the pain. Now we have to find out what is the pain. You needed to help you sleep. Really, you should find out why you can't sleep, right? Maybe you just wicked as shit and your conscience ain't gonna let you rest. Or you might have other things. Or maybe you could try something else to help you sleep.
Even like the pain thing, like I was saying multiple things, like sleep, eating. Another one you just named, pain. Like there's many pain medicine out there. Like you go get some doctor prescribed ibuprofen. It's different from over the counter. It's extremely stronger.
Right.
But if we talking about physical pain, like not dealing with something mental that's putting weight on your shoulders, but more so physical pain. You got a sprain. You got whatever going on. A lot of people, regardless of your age group, or I can say regardless of age group, but a lot of people will go to, the weed thing for physical pain when there's other pain. I mean, pain medication.
There's other medications. That's the thing. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's other things you could take that would help you with whatever you're going through.
Right.
But the root is to find out why you need to do whatever you need to do. All right, go ahead.
I was gonna say, most people that I've talked to, women or men, they always going through something like an argument with their parents, an argument with their family, an argument with their friends, and somebody put them to this and that and this. And most people I go talk to would be stress. So that's it. And they always say they always vent, and they say, "See, this is why I smoke. This is why I need to smoke." After they vent.
I know. I get the point. And they try they do it with so much zest and emotion. Yeah. It make you feel like they're really going through something. Right. And really, you're weak. You're absolutely weak, and it's a result of society. Society today is extremely weak, right? It's getting weaker and weaker as the generations go on, as the years go on. The things you're able to, endure, people is just not enduring it anymore. They're choosing not to. When to live life, you are going to have to literally choose to suffer, to choose the hard road, to choose that route versus the other route. And that's what it really comes down to with people who are drug addicts, right? People who are absolute drug addicts. So now this person here who say about, well, they can't smoke no more because they need to sleep. Again, you could boil the thing and drink it. You could get those what you call that thing? The dispensary where they give you the edibles, right? That's prescription stuff though. I'm not advising nobody to do it, but I'm showing you there's alternatives to the smoking, right? But you don't want the alternatives because you're just a little bit too weak. And really, you know, the alternatives is going to be treated as a medication, which means after a certain time, you got to stop because it's a treatment. It's not meant to sustain you like water. You get the point? It's a treatment and it has to stop, but you don't want anything where you have to stop because you stopped. You yourself, you stopped. Wherever you at in life that you have to get high all the time, you have stopped. You're not fighting anymore. And because you stopped, this is where you're stuck, right here. And you just want to continue with that thing. You get the point? There's other things that help you to sleep. You just, you don't want to fight anymore. Go ahead.
You just said it was heavy because, like, as far as like the ending trial of your medicine, some people got diabetes, take some medicine or different kind of medicine, but other times they can get, some people beat what they have, like they might beat cancer or get better with, so they don't have to take medicine at all, or their medicine dosage really decrease because they continue to fight. How you saying? You try to fight cancer, fight whatever illness they have, and they have some people have been victorious at it.
Exactly. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to work, and the society we live in, it doesn't promote or encourage you to again go through the process of something. There's a process to everything. There's a process to success. There's a process to the NBA. There's a process to graduating school. There's a process, but we don't like the process anymore. You get the point? You don't want the process anymore. You don't want to do the work. Really, that's what it is. You don't want to put in the work to get to this point. It's much easier to get high. It's a lot much easier to get high. That's really what it boiled down to. You get me? Come on, last one, get the scripture.
Come, sir, if I could, just like a personal experience, like.
Is that fool respond?
He responded, but he didn't answer the question, sir.
Okay.
And he also said he wasn't talking about you, talking about white people.
Good.
Nah, I was gonna say first.
You think I'm stupid too? You can. All right. Go ahead.
Now, first I was gonna say the words of the measure Yahanna, like when it comes to getting older, was that you know what I'm saying, used to partake in these type of things, getting us off of that and really seeing it, like just giving us with the spur. Because I can remember right before I came into the school, like when I was forced to stop getting high and doing all that, I went through. A lot of people don't think you can go through weed withdrawals, and I went through all types of withdrawals. I was skinny to the bone.
I think everybody was skinny as a bone. I don't think that ain't got. I think that's just no. I think that's just the truth. You look at old pictures of brothers and compared to that, but you hit 2 Passovers, brother. You go, you move up to belt weights right now. You're a heavyweight. Go ahead.
I would say like the weed withdrawals, like it was like a thing where when I was forced to stop. It was the worst thing. It was the worst thing in the world at that time. Like the smell of food would make me throw up. Like I didn't eat for like a month. Like when I say eat, like an actual meal, whatever it was, even my favorite things or fruit, or even just a peanut butter jelly, I couldn't eat. I lost my eyebrows. I lost. That could
be that. That could be that new thing that y'all be.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That new thing is doing your. Because I never heard of weed withdrawals. Usually, what you have is withdrawals from the comfort that the weed gives you, right? But that new shit, new shit niggas doing, whatever chemicals they're putting in that, you are now having actual symptoms like you was a heroin addict, where your body is physically responding to not having the the drug in your system. But before, withdrawals from the shit, you really just it's like a woman leaving you. You're gonna be you're going through the phase where you're watching the phone for the text and the text ain't coming. It's like you in a zone where you can't get that comfort from it. You get the point? But what you describing there, that's that's some strong, that's some Ray Charles reactions right there.
I was doing everything I could. At that time, I was doing everything I could to figure out my way back to it. I was doing everything I could, and I think like 8 months later, I would, continued on. And when I finally ran into how I, found out about the truth, I never forget. I was sitting there on top of this hill.
A high hill?
And it was a steep line hill. And I was sitting there, and I was about to put on my first class. I think it was like I can't speak with German Heimer, it was yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because all of us can relate that it'd be so weird that when you go to class, it just so happened that the topic is being talked about. You feel like they talking directly to you. And I was about to knock I was in my mind, I was like, this is gonna be my last goddamn blunt, my last J. And then I was going to do the whole thing. And then as soon as the class, I think it was the first thing, like the very first, like 2 minutes ain't even started the video. And it started blazing on people that getting hot. And I like a drug addict. I looked at the butt and I was like, man.
They didn't know what it's talking.
I talked to it. I was like, this is the last time. I threw it out the window.
That's when you know it's serious. You have a relationship with that motherfucker. Yeah, telling me how to go.
I said, this is the last time. I said, we've done that. Yep. Like you said, like you looking like a female. I was like,
it provides you a certain amount of sweetness. It's comfort, right? That's what it does. It takes the edge off when you that's what life is. That's how you know you're alive. Stress is part of life. Right. And going through the stresses is part of life. And anything that takes away that, no, there's a stress that's not normal. You get the point? There's a stress that's not natural. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the everyday parts of life. Waking up in the morning, brushing your teeth, jumping in the shower, driving to a slave or to school or to drop kids off, going to the grocery store, shopping, buying food, cooking. Now, all those things I just described, there are people who, after each one, have to smoke. You get the point? That's not normal. You get the point? That's not normal. Now, to the guy who can't sleep, were you on the front line in the Gulf War and, had bullets flying at you and saw people lose their legs, and you get the point, and had a concussion for months because your tank hit an IED and you got blown up in there and all the echoing in there just messed you up. Now, I'm not saying that's a good reason, but now I'm willing to listen. Was you in something just so ridiculous where you absolutely can't survive normal? Where's abnormal stress? You get the point? But outside of that, you should not go down the route of, I'm going to pick this up to ease the pain, because you're setting yourself up for failure in life. You're going to be a failure in life. You're going to cut off so many things from yourself. And you need to be told it, because the society will tell you it's just a little weed. Nobody don't worry about that. Just a little smoke. It's not just a little nothing. You get the point? You could overcome whatever, and you'll be stronger because younger you're going to be forced to deal with normal stress in life. There's a normal stress that you can deal with. Go ahead.
I cold turkey with weed and a cigarette, right?
How everybody have personal experiences tonight. What's going on? This ain't a personal topic. Goddamn. Shit. Go ahead, Ak.
I was to say, when the spirit hit me, I cold turkey. Right?
Don't say it. Go ahead.
The worst part for me, I couldn't sleep, but the worst part for me was how much time in the day I was experiencing. Dang, the day is
long as shit. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The day, listen, it's not getting high. It makes you now have to live. Right. When before you stop, you just time passing, just whatever, and you stop just long enough, so you're sober enough to go to that slave to make enough money to go get high again. Right. And that's life. That's life for you. And you shouldn't accept that. That's you're weak. You're a drug addict. It's the first step in your recovery, you're a drug addict. Go in the mirror and say, "Hi, drug addict." You're a drug addict, and you're addicted to something. An addiction, whether it's drugs or whatever it is, you have an addiction. It's going to take over your life. It's going to take away time from you, and some time is something you cannot get back. All right, give me Proverbs 16:27 real quick. Somebody else hold Jeremiah 1:16, 7 and 9.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 27. An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
Say it again.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
Say it one more time.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil.
Right? An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Right? An ungodly man, he would dig up evil. So now you have a man who is ungodly. He's against the Lord. He, espouses everything that the Lord does not want done. And if you have a vision, if you could see what's happening, this is a person who is digging up evil, right? Digging up evil, whether you want to take it physically or metaphorically, right? So digging up evil like you would be digging into the earth, like you're hunting for treasure, right? And I believe then Waldo Fools was doing some treasure hunt too. It's somewhere in that article that part of the 420 was some treasure hunt for an abandoned cannabis field. And they was going hunting for this field somewhere that was, or some abandoned cannabis stash somewhere that they was going to find and hit the jackpot and be like goddamn Cheech and Chong, just chiefing and smoking and shotgunning and just blowing the life away. You get the point? An ungodly man diggeth up evil. Go ahead.
Oh God. And in his lips there is a burning fire.
Read it one more time.
And in his lips there is as a burning fire.
Right? An ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his lips there is as a burning fire. You get the point? What's the metaphor? Right? And okay, you gotta understand it, because some people will say that's not talking about weed. It's not talking about smoking. So let's break it down, right? Ungodly man diggeth up evil, and in his mouth is as a burning fire. Break it down. Who got it? Go ahead.
You see, when God he's digging up something from the ground, and then it says, he's put, and there's a fire, and there's a
in his mouth,
in his lips, there's a burning fire.
There is as a burning fire.
There's as a burning fire. So his lips not actually on fire, but it's as a burning fire. So, right, you put that blunt between your lips, you inhale it in the fire.
Right, you inhale that thing, you take a big draw, because the cipher long, you don't know when this thing gonna make its way back around to your dumb ass. So you taking the double, you taking that thing with the veins in your neck come out, and you holding that thing. So that big old draw you see in the ember, spark it get brighter, and as you passing it, smoke comes out. Right now, imagine somebody seeing that for the first time. You could tell a child, "I'm a dragon." No, I don't believe you. Yeah, look, and all that smoke coming out. They're gonna think you have fire in your mouth. You get the point? In your mouth is as a burning fire, right? You're digging up evil. You gotta dig up that plant, and you're gonna have to light it up and pull it in. It's the same thing. An ungodly man is like that. You smoking, whether it's cigarettes, weed, hemp. People don't smoke hemp no more, right? Y'all don't even know about none of that shit.
Yeah,
grade school. That's pre-K3 and pre-K4 to marijuana. You know what I mean? Get the hemp or whatever it is you're doing now with them packs. Any smoking going on, this Bible says you are an ungodly man. You get the point? Or woman. All right? This thing is going to make you absolutely weak and not in the spirit of the Lord. What's the spirit of the Lord?
Man of war.
He's a man of war. So if you're ungodly, What are you?
Not a man.
You're a man of
Peace.
peace.
Okay, come.
See, my white friend here, he not that. Hit this. Them LGBTQ. Yeah, hit this. You're not fighting against nothing. What? That's the kid's decision, man. My parents mad cool. They smoke with me. You don't go to war with nothing because you're an ungodly man. Forget what they're saying about angry black man. Why are you so angry? That's the spirit of the Lord. Your anger, you're willing to go fight against something. It's the spirit of the Lord. Go ahead.
When I was in the world, I used to always
Yeah, Shalom, Yahanna.
Say it again.
I used to say, weed, that's the best way to say hi.
It's the weed is the best. Oh, the invite is.
Yeah, it don't matter who you was, like everybody who smokes, like no matter what they were, like you said, LGBT. I wasn't smoking with them, but
you don't know.
The best way to say hi.
You don't know. You don't know. That's the other part. I wanted to get to that too, but since you brought it up, okay, it's oh boy, we're about to lose the TikTok. Salakia Barak.
Too late.
We already lost it?
No, what's going on? It's too late. You can mention it.
It's gay as hell. It's okay. This thing here, okay, I don't know how y'all do it now. But that thing there where you spit up on the damn paper, right? And saliva and you lick that thing. You licking that thing like an old typewriter. And you wetting that thing up and then you nigga put it in his mouth the long way and pull it out. And then give it to another nigga to put in his mouth to light. Shit. I want bad for myself. So like, I don't need to touch that shit you put in your mouth. Because that is hay. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. That's very hay. It's hay. Absolutely hay. And with all these new STDs going on, brother, your mouth is a concoction of everything. It's a dangerous thing. It's an absolute dangerous thing. It's horrible, and it's hay. It spits. You another man spit touching your mouth, and then another nigga coming down there and touching your mouth, and all the little white shit in the corner here, and your lips just big and fucking black from all the smoke, and you're just nasty, and you're just passing the shit around. You're nasty, nigga. You're absolutely nasty. Go ahead.
And then it's like
you put something in your mouth the long way and then pull it up. Yeah, this is good. And everybody getting you props for rolling up blunt. No pause or nothing. It's hay. It's absolutely hay. Go ahead.
People, I was saying during COVID, that's what few people try to say. Then they got cautious about it. Oh, we don't want. And they still were sharing blunts, but other people were trying not to do it because of COVID. Oh, no, I can't share no blunt because of COVID. That's the only time they tried to. And they said, like our brother was saying, in high school, when I was in high school, that was the only time you made
friends.
That's most of the time I had like friends who was not black, who was white or this.
It bridged the gaps.
Or that. So
yeah, it bridged the gaps.
God. And that's the only time they needed you. That was it.
Yeah, it bridged the gaps. And for them, it's recreation. And for you thinking you making some social, some social steps. Like, I ain't smoking with y'all now. I'm smoking over here with so and so. And that's, it's pause. Big pause on the whole thing. You know what I mean? Do the thing. All right. Where we at with this now? Read this thing one more time again for me, somebody, right?
Salakia say here, man.
Chapter 16, verse 28.
27.
Verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
An ungodly man diggeth up evil,
mm-hmm.
and in his lips there is a burning fire.
There is as a burning fire.
As a burning fire.
Right? Smoking anything is absolutely against the Lord. It's antichrist. It's against the spirit of the Lord. It's against the spirit of the Bible. It's against your natural inclination to fight for anything or fight to defend yourself in any way. Hit that light behind you, brother. Right? It's up to what? Right? It's against everything, and you're not gonna have a fight anymore in you to stop anything. It's the reason why most women who do have a weed problem, right, I don't know who I've never experienced or heard of, much women doing popping the pills and the harder stuff. But that weed and the alcohol is so soothing to a woman. A woman are more susceptible to stimulation. It's 60 degrees outside. You still want the heat on, and you want the sweater on, and the socks, right? So you want to stay real toasty, and the shit ain't that cold outside because that's it. The feeling of it, you're more responsive to it. So for a woman who has a weed problem, or a drug addiction problem, where she is going to put herself, the mental state she's going to be able to put herself in, is going to make her very, very easy. She's going to become very, very easy, and every man knows it. Every single man knows it, that if he could get you high, if he drops by with weed, you're willing to do anything and blame it on the weed or do anything for the weed, and your excuse is going to be you were in pain or you needed this to get over something, and you may have some legitimate excuse, like everybody have a legitimate excuse to, or have a legitimate pain reason. But to now go commit yourself to something like this that's going to destroy your time, and just make you just a horrible person on the whole, that ain't the right way for you to go. You get the point? Give me Jeremiah 1:16 real quick.
It's Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 16. And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness, who have forsaken me.
Who have what?
Who have forsaken me.
Go ahead.
And have burned incense unto other gods, and worship the works of their own hands.
Right, read it one more time.
And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness.
Right, the Lord said He will utter His judgments against them, honoring all wickedness. Read it again.
And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness.
Right, touching all their wickedness. And this is us he's talking about, because His judgments is for Israel. His statutes, His judgments is only for the 12 tribes. Go ahead.
Who have forsaken me.
Who have forsaken me. Meaning you turned your back on the Lord. You get the point? Which is why you don't want to receive any correction for your drug addiction. You don't want to accept the fact that you're a fiend, that you're weak, that this weed, this plant, or this cigarette, or these pills, or whatever you're popping, this thing rules your life. Like, you can't make a move without it. You can't switch jobs without going on a fast, or drinking some concoction to clean your blood, or putting some baby pee in an unused condom and hoping it passed the damn test. You can't do anything because this thing rules your life. You start smelling it, time for a break. Any little argument you get in, time for a break. You and your manager beefing, time for a break. Anything, traffic, time for a break. You know how weak you are, nigga? You know how weak, so much of your energy is going into this thing, and you're not productive in any way to do anything. Go ahead.
You still right. I first come to the truth. Slavery will open up, and I tell my family and partners, like, hey, it's also hiring. But they got to test you.
Damn. They test?
And then I out in the world, they was buying my urine for $20.
Shit, that's a good hustle now.
I still do it. It's a lot of it. I still do it. It's a lot. That's $20.
I think I need to make an eyebrow. I call it some fly. UP, my P, UP. UPS. Something. P, sell piss. Now imagine that, because you have a drug problem, urine has a market. Like, you're disgusting, Negro. You're weak. Go ahead. And that's disgusting. So now you have to go touch somebody else's pee? Man, listen, I guess at that point it don't matter, because this nigga swallowed the whole blunt and spit it back up, and you putting it in your mouth. I know the blunt hitting your lip wet. You nasty nigga. You got another grown man saliva on your bottom lip. Go ahead.
It's heavy what you're saying because the addiction is so it's like overpowering. I knew this chick. As soon as she get out of bed, roll over, she's light up.
And listen, I guess that's it.
Use the bathroom first?
No, because listen, opening her eyes was just too much work. She's in such a state of depression, and that thing is real. That's why people sleep all day. Homeless people, they sleep all day. You don't want to be up. You don't want to. You angry that you woke up. You just want the time to pass because you're stuck, and you could get help. It's not an irreversible situation here, and you could get help, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some pain, and most people do not want to go through the process of it. You get the point? It's easier to just stay in it. It's even worse if you're a functional addict, where you could go and hold on to slavery and pay bills, and you functional, and then you just go get blasted. That's even worse because now, how could I tell you something's wrong with you? I have a car, I have this, I have that, I have a good driving record, this, that, the other. You can't tell somebody that unless I show you where you really could be. You get the point? You realize you're so much under potential. You're so operated under, and most people are functional drug addicts. Most people. God damn. They gotta change the topic, guy. Switch it to 93.9. Switch it to something else.
I probably carried this with me since I've been.
Let me get a bottle of water.
I probably carried this with me since I've been in the school for the years that I've been.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember back then, my father, he had said, my father in the word in the flesh, he had said, I never forget, he was after he had found out that, you know what I'm saying, I was getting high and all of a sudden above, and, I came back, from school, he had told me, like, later down the line, because he ain't never wanted to confront it again. He had told me down the line, he was like, he said my slave name, he's like, if you still getting high, you have to realize you're paying the bill. And I never really, like, meaning, like, the amount of, like, the money that you're spending on that, like, it's you paying a bill in that essence. And, like, to compare it to what it is you're saying as far as being a functional, like, that's typically what I looked at it as being, because I had a car, you know what I mean? I wasn't, while I ain't had no record at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, it was,
like, you don't see nothing wrong.
I didn't see nothing wrong at all. I would try to come up with every excuse. I'm not out here wilding. I'm not out here doing nothing. I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, then he hit me with that. He was like, you walk around like you untouchable. And then the Lord humbled me. It's a lot.
That's all it takes, Zach. That's all it takes. So just a little humbling. I know you're willing to learn. That's how everybody goes through that stage. Go ahead.
The second, at the bottom of 16, right?
Mm-hmm. Wait, Jeremiah talking about?
No, Jeremiah chapter 1 and 16 at the bottom. I have burned incense unto other gods.
Yeah, we didn't get there yet, but we could definitely let's get back to the scripture. All right? Go ahead, read it from the top again.
It's Jeremiah 1 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I will utter my judgments against them, touching all their wickedness.
Right, that's the Lord saying He's going to punish us for every evil thing we do against Him. Right, and one of the most evil things you could do against the Lord is to betray Him. Right? How do you betray the Lord? How does everybody betray the Lord? When you decide to not fight anymore. You decide to not fight anymore, you're going to be a Christian. You decide to not fight anymore, you're going to be a drug addict. You're going to be, you're going to be a whore. You're going to be lesbian. You're going to be gay. You're going to be alternative lifestyle. When you decide to now turn your back on the Lord, now you don't fight anymore. Now you just go with whatever it is. You get the point? And you're going to offend Him. Keep going.
Who have forsaken me,
mm-hmm.
and I have burned incense unto other gods,
mm-hmm.
and worship the works of their own hands.
Mm-hmm. What was the question?
Okay, so I know for sure worship other, in the past when we sin against the Lord and we burn incense to other gods, which is a sin,
mm-hmm.
and then worship the works of our hands. That's also the idols that we build. But could it be a twofold? For in the world, we used to whoever rolled the best. See, that's the works of your hands. Whoever rolled the best blunt, he was praised. And so in DC, they were like, damn, who pearled this? We call it pearl.
Why call it pearl though?
Why they pearled it?
Yeah, why call it pearl?
Beautiful is jewel. That's my pearl. This is striking. It's striking.
It's striking with all that spit on it. That's why it's shiny like a pearl with all that saliva. With all that saliva on the shit. That's why.
So and see, because everybody will hold it up like you'll hit it, and then people will look at it like he did. And they like you a circle and point you out. He did this.
Yeah.
See, you can't do it like him. He wrote this. You know how he did this?
Pause.
Worship.
It's hay. It's very, very hay, brother.
So that's the workings of your hands.
Listen, don't talk about the part where you had to get naked to go smoke. I ain't. Oh, you don't know about that. When you're young enough, and you have to go back into a grown person's house who's going to smell it, you have to smoke bareback because you got to put that shirt in the car. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. I hope I ain't give nobody no tips. Pause. But you gotta get naked to go get high because you don't want the smoke on your garment. Nobody don't do that no more because the shit is just.
But they would wear extra. They had smoking jackets, smoking hoodies, or something like oil now. Like you put oil on your
shit.
Something like that.
Man, y'all don't know how to get high, man. I'm just telling you straight up.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, that's it. The whole thing is just it's gay. It's hay, right? It's very hay. But that's exactly what you're saying right there. It's the praise and the work of the hands, of course, building the idols, but it's it's that. You get the point? And it's burning incense. Why? Because for every drug addict, how does marijuana smell? It smells good to a drug addict. And it smells nasty to somebody else who's never gotten high. But to a drug addict, this thing is, ooh-wee, that's smells so good. Just let it burn. Just light it up and just let that shit burn. Go ahead.
I remember now what made me stop when I came in class. And I think golf because I was explaining just how you were, how it's gay.
Oh, brother.
That was enough for me right there.
It's, listen, I heard Jeremiah Yak break the thing down, brother. If you know Jeremiah Yak, brother, Jeremiah Yak will tell a story and you'll feel like you in the story, like almost like the metaverse. And he broke the whole thing down with the rapping and the licking. And after that, brother, I was like, no, stop. I'm good. Go ahead.
Right. Jeremiah, he also would do it too. Jeremiah, when he gave advice about raising a kid, he would try to sometimes tell you get your kid off of having a pacifier, so they won't get used to sucking on something. So that's that's what he teach. Jeremiah hates for your kids to be sucking on something because he don't want them to become teenagers and adults and then sucking on something.
I know exactly what you mean. Till this day, I don't let my children do too much of that lollipop shit. That lollipop shit. Now y'all can do that. It ain't no sin.
Right.
I just don't like to see the shit. It's a lot. I can't. Go ahead.
So this scripture, this verse right here, is not saying that you can't just burn incense, but it's in particular burning incense to another god.
Right. So you're burning incense to another god versus
just burning incense and smell good.
Burning incense unto another god versus before he reached the part with burning incense. Read the part just before it.
Who have forsaken me.
So burning incense unto other gods, right? As opposed to 1 second, give him a chance. As opposed to you forsaken me, burning incense to other gods.
Worshiping other gods.
As opposed to come on for the win, because for the win. For the win, Shapat.
Opposed to burning frankincense and myrrh to God.
As opposed to burning incense to honor the Lord. Because this is his favorite smell. Right. Somebody get this fire started again, please. All right? Because that's his favorite smell. It says that in the Apocrypha, his favorite smell is frankincense and myrrh. That's why we burn frankincense all the time. Frankincense and myrrh. Okay, think like you have a woman and she gets dolled up for you. You say, hey, I'm on the way. She jump in the shower, get that thing going, blam, blam, blam. And then she come out and she spray the air and walk into the air. That's the old school one. She get nice and smelly for you. And that same woman, something happens and she gets smelly to leave the house. I ain't gotta say no more. You don't teach your class, huh? Go ahead. She all the time. She ain't, you ain't getting no more. But where you going? I'm going out with who? A friend. And the smell is like red rum, red rum, red rum. Go ahead, Ak.
That's crazy. That's crazy because this is week. I sprayed something. My rib was asleep. I sprayed something. And she was asleep.
It was one of the going out. It was one of the going out sprays. It was one of the outside sprays. We outside.
I sprayed something. She was asleep. She said, "What's that smell?" I said, "We smell this all the time." She woke. I said, "You supposed to be asleep." She knew. She like, "Oh, where you going?" She looked at my clothes.
You taking a shower in the evening time, like it's out of the routine. So it's like, I know this ain't for me. You don't take no. You just jump in here, What I mean? So you just think like that with the Lord. It's a betrayal like that, which is most times where He describes a betrayal as adultery. You get the point? He describes it as adultery because that's what you'll understand. That's what any man could understand that shit where it's like, that's how the Lord feels. So now you're going to get high and you are worshiping another God when you're getting high, right? What are some of the gods you worship when you're getting high?
Shiva.
I'll take that. But not everybody is into Shiva, right? They get the henna tattoos and shit like that. But what else?
I mean, Shiva's, but they don't know. Is Rastafari?
The Rastafarians that worship that Haile Selassie.
So like if I could, it's a little vague, but General Muhammad has said that you'd be surprised how many things like are hard. You don't realize you worship a God, and for the things that like we would make you would provoke you to do or influence you to do, like those things. If you go into the detail of it, whether it be stealing, that's a God.
That would come in with the Hindus, right? The Hindus have a god for violence, right? And it's called Kali, right? Kali is the god for violence in the Hindu religion, or a god for revenge, and her followers are called Thugi, right? That's where you get the word thug from, right? So of course, and they are also tout getting high, right? Which is where the Rastafarians get smoking the weed from. They get it from the East Indians, right? Because they would always get high. There's another God, yourself. You're really worshiping yourself because you're getting high because I can't sleep. You're getting high because I'm in pain. You're getting high because of I this and I that. Everything is surrounding you and I need this. You also worshiping yourself. You lighten this incense unto for other gods. Go ahead.
So, can you rewind a little bit? You said Thugi is. Can you say that again?
Her followers. Kali is the East Indian goddess, right? She's goddess of violence, robbing, stealing, revenge, unaliving, right? Her followers are called Thugi, right? It's with two G's, right? Two G's and an I, and that's where the word thug comes from, right? What's up?
No, that shit just smack because we call ourselves thugs, and that shit just smack in my head. Like,
well, we don't call ourselves thugs, right? Really? Okay, we get it from they started calling us thugs, and we take the as a term of endearment. But that thing there, you really, it's following in the vein of Kali's worshippers, right? That's really what it is. It's the same random acts of violence. They would pray to this god to give them success in their bloodshed, right? And it's an ugly old 8-handed broad with heads, ton of heads she holding from all the people who head she cut off. But
Kali destroy you or something like
that? Kali the hoe, right? Kali the hoe. Go ahead.
Makes sense of how some brothers in the world, they can't, for the most part, cannot commit crime or violence without getting high.
Without getting high first.
And that's why some people try to brag, or rappers try to brag like, "Oh, I did this. I hit a lick. I ain't had to get high." Like somebody would say that.
He was high on something. he was high on something. He maybe didn't have a right or wrong like Bobo and them in the damn Cadillac, but he was high on something, right? And the whole reason where you have to get high before you do something is because to not commit this act of violence, you have to fight your flesh. You have to fight yourself. To not have sex with this whore, you have to fight yourself. But it's broad not to just be down DTF all the goddamn time for some gas. She has to fight herself. And nobody wants to fight all the time. Nobody wants to have to fight day and night and day, and just having to fight and be disciplined and be in order and just never letting up and staying on top of it. That's too stressful for somebody. That's just too stressful. So you had to take that escape. And the drugs provide that escape. And 420 tomorrow, a lot of people are going to be escaping. A lot of people are going to be, leaving this place for their problems in a ridiculous way. What else is going to happen tomorrow? A lot of accidental shootings. A lot of police, horrible police interactions. Why? Because pull up a definition of DUI real quick. All right, give me definition of DUI. Why are you looking for it? Give me Jeremiah 7 and 9. Somebody else. When you have DUI, go ahead and read.
DUI. It's 3 definitions.
Mm-hmm.
The act of crime, the act or crime of driving a vehicle while affected by alcohol or drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. An arrest or conviction for driving under the influence.
Mm-hmm.
3. A person who is arrested for or convicted of driving under the influence.
Right, under the influence. Right, it's very broad and wide. Under the influence of what? Of Coca-Cola, of donuts. Under the influence of what?
Some sort of strong substance
that
impairs your
ability to handle of this mechanical device effectively or make effective decisions, right? Because of MAD, the group MAD. You know who the group MAD is? MADD, right? Mothers Against Drunk Driving, for all them teenage oppressor sons who would just go and wreck the car over Budweiser. Because of them, everybody thinks a DUI. Well, not now, but there was a time when a DUI was just, alcohol. That's what people's mind, right? But a DUI is also high on marijuana, right? It's also that. And this is how you done played yourself. Now, so now you have that also being DUI, driving under the influence. That's also points on your license, where you may not even be an alcoholic. There's a ton of weed smokers, a ton of drug addicts who don't touch alcohol. So I ain't touching no alcohol, man. I don't do that. Look at alcohol like it's just, horrible, like it's poison or something. You get the point? And go get blasted high. You get pulled over, you're high. Now that's an immediate DUI. This is the other thing. With the recent the Supreme Court Supreme Court recent ruling on the Second Amendment, where states are now a shall issue state for the most part. Right, when before most states you had to provide a reason, a valid reason that you needed to carry a firearm. Now it's a shall issue state. You don't have to provide no reason for the most part. Once you don't have a record or no other crazy shit going on with you, go apply, they have to give it to you. And if they don't give it to you, they have to give you a reason, to provide a substantial reason for you to not have one. Now, if you have a DUI, you're done. And that DUI don't have to be alcohol. If you have a marijuana card, you cannot get a firearm. That's you done. Why the hell would I want to celebrate 420? For what? For what? You can't defend yourself. You can't defend your house. You can't, you're robbing yourself of something. No, you have to rely on 911, or somebody else to protect you, another man to protect you when you should be able to handle that yourself, or you go get one illegally because you can't get one legally, which is more problems for you. You get the point? Like, why would you box yourself into something where you have no power? You're not able to go to war with nothing, right? You have to think about other ways out of this thing because you want to get high. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not worth it, right? Where we at with it? Jeremiah 7 and 9? Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 9. Will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom ye know not?
Read that one more time.
God will come. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 9. Will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely?
Will you steal, murder, commit adultery, and lie? All of those are things that you do when you get high, right? You're bringing the weed to the adultery party. Man, I'm gonna show up there with this, and she gonna take this, and I could give her some of this. Everything. The scriptures is describing the whole thing down, and a lot of it is going to be going on tonight and tomorrow night, and that's Thursday, so you know that's the precursor for Friday, and the whole weekend just going to be a whole mess, right? Not to mention, and you living in this area, this DC, Maryland, Virginia area is absolutely hot right now with gun violence. It's going to be a ridiculous weekend for these cops. I have to feel sorry for them. It's going to be a horrible weekend for them. Not to mention the old drug sales and the robberies that's going to happen behind this 420, because everybody is going to be what? Ordering immense amount of weed. You're going to smoke like you won't smoke on a normal day. Now you have to get more high, so you got to get more weed. All the weed parties, all the, all these the events and activities you're going to plan in private areas is now going to come into, it's going to turn into something else. You'll see it in the news Friday morning or Saturday about some party that got shut up somewhere, wherever. Go ahead.
There's a question online. Brother Jaheem says, "Can I go with birthdays? People are giving all this attention to on one particular day, making yourself a god."
So
Can I go with birthdays? People are giving all this attention on one particular day, making yourself a god.
Oh, hell yeah. Birthdays are also, idol worship where you are the god. But tonight we're not talking about birthdays, right? Or we are. The weed birthday, which is 420, right? You ain't going to get away from this drug addiction, intervention here. Take the spotlight. Take the spotlight. You're getting licks a little bit too much. Don't worry about it. Just, take it for tonight. All right, pause. But you're going to have to accept this shit right here. Right? Tonight is drug addiction night. You're a drug addict. You're going to hear you're a drug addict until you're not a drug addict anymore. All right? Read Jeremiah 7 and 9 again.
Jeremiah.
Any more questions in there, Bukwaj? All right, we'll run it down with this one. Go ahead.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 7, verse 9. Will ye steal, murder, and commit adultery, and swear falsely, and burn incense unto Baal, and walk after other gods whom ye know not?
Right, and that's what we do. That's what we do as a people when you get in high. Steal, murder, adultery, swear falsely, and worship other gods who you don't even know. You get into whatever, whoever, and you don't even give a damn because you're a drug addict, because you're at the point where you can't fight no more, because, you're absolutely weak. You get the point? You're absolutely weak, and you're honoring a holiday that makes you weak. And you want to stay in your weakness when you could actually fight. You could actually conquer something and achieve something. It's possible to do it, but it's going to take some pain. It's going to hurt a little bit. As in anything where you're building or building yourself up. You go in the gym, them first few weeks is hell. Your lungs on fire, your muscles hurting, you're sore, but you push past that stage After a while, that thing becomes normal. It becomes easy, and you get stronger. You get better. But that process. People have a aversion to it, and it's what makes you weak, right? Give me Jeremiah 19:4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 19, verse 4. Because they have forsaken me.
Say it again.
Because they have forsaken me and have estranged this place.
Go ahead.
And have burned incense in it unto other gods.
Right? That's what happened. We done forsake the Lord and forsaken, our place. And we burn incense unto other gods, right? And when they say forsaken this place, what does that mean? And estranged this place, I mean.
Like Israel.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because I was saying, the time we were doing it
we built groves to other gods in our own land. Yeah, I mean, we totally disrespected the Lord and lit incense unto other gods. You get the point?
Yeah, that's like allowed, this is our little sanctuary, and that's like we start allowing unclean stuff in here.
Yeah.
We estranged now one west.
No, we ain't that no more. You get the point? Go ahead.
Whom neither they nor their fathers have known, nor the kings of Judah, and have filled this place with the blood of innocence.
Right. And that's what happens. Right? We don't turn to gods who our forefathers do not know. We don't turn to honor things that our forefathers did not honor. And we have filled this place with blood, the blood of the innocent. You understand? Because of you're a drug addict, because of your addiction to drugs, because you can't survive a normal day in life without having to get high. And it's a bad place to be in, but you can get help. This I ain't just bashing you. I ain't just calling you a drug addict. I'm letting you know you could get help to deal with whatever problems you have. Did the brother ever say what pain he of course he ain't gonna say it because the shit don't matter. He can't say it because there's really no pain. You like it. Weed is good. Jeremiah said weed is delicious. Weed is good. It feels good. It makes you feel great. A lot of people don't want to leave that. A lot of people, they can't do that. If the UPK endorsed getting high, brother, we wouldn't have enough seats in here. If you could just get high and come to class, oh shit. Okay, I'm gay a secret. You could come to class high. You can't come and get high in here. But here's where you should come in here while you're high so you could get the help to stop getting high. You could come and sit in here and detox and, feel uncomfortable and force yourself to sit in that seat and get checked and be told when to, stay quiet because you're talking high talk and get, checked upon, and you just keep coming back. You're going to get stronger and stronger. And before long, you're not going to have to rely on a damn plant to rule your life. Right? Somebody else had that? Go ahead.
Like he just replied, he says, I get tormented by these white men.
And that's why you smoke weed, huh?
Every day.
Because you get tormented by the oppressor. And when you say tormented, what do you mean? Describe what you mean. Like, do they show up under your bed and be like, nigga? What do they do? What do they do to you? What do they do to you and that torments you? Please. Go ahead. Read the best one. Be his lawyer. Give me the thing that's gonna make me believe that we gonna help him. Come on, quickly, You reading the truth first? You're proofreading that book?
I'm trying.
He's schizophrenic too. He typed a whole book.
Concept.
Just give me the first 5 lines.
I can find where he
just read anything. Just read a sentence.
I know he said something about they pulled him over before, and they fired him at work.
The fire will call you high. Because you're a drug addict. I'd fire you too.
That's right.
You're a drug addict. Okay, this is, and once again, Israelite School of UPK is the only place you're going to learn this and hear this. Your oppressor torments you. Instead of tormenting him back, you lay down and get to be tormented more by getting high. How about you come in here and go to camp and be a pain to him and be a problem to him? How about you do that? How about you go raise up a camp somewhere, wherever city you in, and raise up brothers and sisters who don't get high no more, and that would torment him. Like, you don't know how to fight. You don't know about going to war. Like, you getting oppressed, and your solution is to go put yourself in a position to be more oppressed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you're a drug addict. You're a horrible drug addict. You just want to get high. You get pulled over and it's a problem. Pull up the picture of the sister who I forget her name. The one who was the poster child for the integration with the shades, where they walked her into the school, the high school, I think it's in Alabama or Mississippi, and they had to call the National Guard in. I forget her name. Going to the school during the when they integrated the schools after Roe v. Wade, I believe. Right? Yeah, go ahead. Right? Just pull up her picture, put her picture up, and then put somebody read what happened to her. Read, the account of the things that happened to her. Ruby Bridges. I think that's the sister. Just give me the account of what happened to her.
Little Rock 9.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting it up on mine.
No, sorry. Go ahead, read up.
Okay, count on count. Says, you probably seen the photo. A young African-American girl walks to school, her eyes shielded by sunglasses. She's surrounded by a hateful crowd of angry white people, including a girl caught mid-year, her teeth bare, and her face hardened with anger. It's one of the most famous images of the civil rights era, but it turns out that the story of the young woman in the photo is even more complicated than a racial drama their faces portray.
Mm-hmm.
Hazel Bryan was just 15 when the photo was taken, but her actions on September 4th, 1957, and the hatred on her face turned her into an infamous symbol of the bigotry of Jim Crow and the intolerance.
They're talking about the white girl. They're talking about one of them white women who was there yelling absurdities and obscenities to her. I'm talking about, okay, if you could find the part where they're describing what Ruby Bridges went through.
So Ruby Bridges was a little black girl that first went. This sister name is a different name in the Little Rock 9.
Okay, I'm talking about the one is one girl.
She's wearing shades.
She wearing shades, and they had to call the National Guard in. This got good. That's Ruby Bridges?
No, that was another one.
Okay, no sweat. I think the one I want is Ruby Bridges, where they had to. I think she was a young girl. She went into a school. She was by herself. They had to remove her from the class. Okay, that's the one I want. All right, for time's sake, maybe we just skip it for now. They find it where they tell you all the shit she had to go through as a child to go to school, and she ain't never go shoot up nobody's school. She ain't go get high. You get pulled over and you ready to be Tony Montana and just get high, most high, and just drown your sorrows into weed. You're just weak and you just never learn how to fight. Go ahead.
That the girl who she said she used to take it out on her siblings, and she couldn't take it out anywhere else.
I never read that. If that's the case, go ahead.
I'm trying to read the whole thing, but there's a piece right here while it's loading up. It says Ruby faced blatant racism every day while entering the school. Many parents kept their children at home. People outside the school threw objects, police set up barricades. She was threatened and even greeted by displaying a black ball in a wooden coffin.
A black ball in a wooden coffin, meaning die. Like not just a black doll, not just like the Gollywog dolls, but nigga, you better die. You get the point? Are they terrorizing you like that? Don't trip, nigga, whatever his name is. Go ahead.
The dude tripping. He says, I am what you said I am.
Yeah. Oh, you're admitting to be a drug addict. Good job, brother. Good job. You could now get help. You could now get help, right? But don't just be like, oh, I'm an old drug addict. Let me go get more high. I hope you ain't gonna do that nonsense. You get the point? You should go find the closest UPK to you and go report into them classes and go there every day, whether high or not. And sooner or later, the Lord gonna help you shape up. Get the point? To the brothers over there, the officer or captain over that school. All right, where was that? Any more on the Ruby Bridges or the other one?
There was a little bit. It said only one teacher, Barbara Henry, agreed to teach her.
Right, out of the whole faculty, nobody wanted to teach this girl because they really forced her. She was like a guinea pig almost, or like a ploy almost. So what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a ploy. Like she was really like almost like a mascot for that integration and civil rights. Like she didn't want to go to school. They talked her parents into sending her there. It was them forcing the oppressor to open their doors to black people. And she was the first one, and she went through hell, brother. And the faculty, only one teacher wanted a teacher. They refused to teach her. And imagine as a child facing so much rejection. So facing so much, torment. That's real life torment. Walking in school, National Guard who hate you and have to pretend to guard you. And you have to go there every day because some preacher telling you this is the bigger picture. And you're going to be a hero one day. You're ridiculous. You hate women. You like to talk about the UPK hates women. You hate women to put her in that situation on a daily basis. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And that is the product of being another form of an addict where you're addicted to the oppressor through his Christianity, which is his major drug. You're addicted to him so much, you would push a child to be violated so goddamn much. That she gets so violated and emotionally damaged, spiritually damaged, just always having to go through this, horrible damn time. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. No, that's real torment, brother. That's real life torment. That's real life, These oppressors is out to get me. That's what that is. What you talking about for you is you just want to be a drug addict. You want to be soft. And, at least tell me you're rolling your own blunt. Don't tell me you're putting some other nigga saliva on your mouth and tasting it and touching your tongue. Yummy. Nasty nigga. Go ahead.
You have 1 or 2 more sentences.
Go ahead.
Only one teacher, Barbara Henry, agreed to teach her. Ruby was the only student in Barbara Henry's class because all the other children had been pulled out by their parents. She was not allowed to go to the cafeteria or outside for recess with other students.
So she can't go to get food. And as a child, that's a big thing. You hungry, you want to go get snacks, you want to go get something to eat. And she ain't allowed to go outside for what? Recess? So a kid wants to play. Every child wants to play. They want to play. You should have seen them in the Passover. I watch all them little garments them little niggas was wearing, and them dresses them niggerettes was wearing. them little kings and princesses, them warriors and princesses was wearing. And brother, once it was time to run, they didn't care about the food and the lamb and shit. They was cartwheeling and playing tag and falling down, laying flat down on the ground, and because that's what kids do. Right. Now imagine you telling a child, sit there. Others could go, but you can't go. And the reason you can't go is because of that nigger skin. Right. That's horrible. That's a horrible experience to have. She ain't get high though. So dude tripping, what's your problem? Like that's you ain't going through that shit. You and getting high is the way of the oppressor. That's a heathenistic thing to do. That's not how we deal with stress. Any point? Go ahead.
I'm saying it's ridiculous. Because I don't think there's no big history of any other race doing it. like trying to force that people force themselves to be with somebody that hates them.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. Like you really put this child through a lot of trauma.
Unnecessary
trauma when they can just go to a black school.
They could go to a black school, but you don't want to go to the black school because you're addicted to the oppressor. You understand? You absolutely addicted to the oppressor, and you couldn't, you don't care anything about a child's welfare or well-being, and really you don't want to fight for your own. It comes down to, again, just being weak and not wanting to do the work yourself. Yeah, if you wanted to do the work yourself, then you would have something different. You would have a different space, a different place. You would have more quality, but you don't want to do it. You just prefer to get high most sides. Somebody help me with the door. It might be a little jam. You know how to turn the tripod. You know how to turn the tripod. It sometimes get jammed in the frame, right? Because they refuse to fight. Now she had to go there and accept being bullied. Really, it's what it is. And for what? Being bullied for what? For now to lose all the HBCUs? To what she did and what was the benefit from it? What the sacrifice, the mental sacrifice she took off? What we benefit from that? Just seeing her picture? A good ass black. That's a good black and white picture right there. All the gangster shades, the thug life. But other than what the hell we benefit from that shit? That shit didn't benefit nobody, nothing but them politicians. Go ahead.
Like I said, just to imagine just having a kid. It's few black kids that have committed suicide because of bullying. Like she for sure, with all that walking through the crowd, white people or it's like oppressors threatening her, throwing stuff at her. Then she get in there, can't have recess, gotta eat in a class. That could have got to her. She could have.
Brother, she's supposed to be she's supposed to be a walking disaster right now.
Right.
Drinking anything, popping any pill, whatever, she's supposed to just be a full out crazy person by now. And she's not. You get the point? Now you're talking about torment arc. God damn. We went through slavery.
Right.
People saw their parents hung from trees and shit.
Right.
And we went and built colleges. You getting high because you get pulled over? Brother, weak you saw. Goddamn, go found a school or something with that oppression.
Right.
Go ahead. Who am I? So like, go ahead.
That was just like the little Latino sister that I think she had been like 8 years old. We had brought out in class a while back. I want to say like 2 or 3 years ago. It was something I think in Idaho. It was somewhere which they was deporting the people from the farm, and they literally told the little girls on news. She's like 8 years old. She told the little Hispanic sister that she had the officer had told her to get over it when they deported her parents, but she wasn't deported. But her parents was deported, and she was literally told by the officers to get over it. And it's like something like that. I pray sister find the truth. She's like 8 years old, and she was told to get over it by the officer that had deported her. That's why I was on the news.
Mm-hmm.
I guess other people had heard it.
Right.
And she was 7 years old, and she was told.
No, that's torment. That's torment. Mm-hmm. You get pulled over, like license and registration, so. You had to go turn into a cokehead for it?
Right.
Nah, man. You could get help, brother. You could be way stronger than that. You could be way stronger. If a police stop, turns you into a drug addict, you can't have kids. Like a child will make you, you'll just get a tin of paint and sit down here all day. And just sniff the paint, brother, because kids is something else, brothers. Kids is something else. You know what I mean? They just, you can't undertake any sort of stress, that's a bad situation to be in. You get the point? It's an absolute bad situation to be in. All right, and you probably need some more counseling too, because that paragraph you wrote, there's some schizophrenic, behavior right there. You might have some bipolar schizophrenia going on. Just call the closest camp leader to it, and you might be able to get some help if you're willing to fight. Like this is not a place of magic. They're saying you just call and the demon leaves you. You have to want the demon to leave you. Now, if you don't want the demon to leave you, then don't call. But if you want help, and of course, the help ain't gonna be a pat on the back. You're gonna get put into a program. You're gonna have a regimen. You're gonna have to make a phone call every week. Ooh, you're gonna smoke about 5 blunts before that call, because you got to get yourself ready to call and check in, and that's gonna be too stressful for you. But if you're able to do it, brother, you're gonna be able to do amazing things, absolutely amazing things. But you're gonna have to want to get rid of the demon. If you don't want to get rid of the demon, don't waste nobody's time. Right? Where we at?
That was it on the. There was one more sentence where it said she had to get escorted by a federal marshal anytime she had to use the restroom.
Anytime she had to what?
Anytime she had to use the restroom.
Anytime she had to anytime she had to use the restroom, a marshal had to take her to the bathroom. And now you can't escort your daughter to a bathroom that a man who dressing like a woman might be in. What the hell was all that shit for? Like, for what? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? What script? What's the last scripture we had?
Jeremiah 19 and
4. Okay, give me Jeremiah 44, and let's start at verse 5.
Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 5. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness.
Read that again.
Come on. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods.
Right. We didn't now incline to turn away from following these other gods. Right. From worshiping these other gods and their ways. We was down to do it. Right. We was we was motivated to serve the other gods and see what they're about, right, and get down with them and their lifestyle and their culture. We motivated to accept that thing, but to serve the Lord, there's no motivation there. Right. You understand? And it's going to piss the Lord off. Right? Go ahead.
Come. Wherefore my fury and mine anger was poured forth and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they are wasted and desolate as at this day.
Right, and that's for sure prophetic, because how is where we live right now? Wasted. Right. You understand? Absolutely wasted, because of course we done turned our back on the Lord. Right. We done turned our back on the Lord and went after other gods who we had no business going after, and served other ways that we had zero business serving. Right. Keep reading.
Come. Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your soul, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain.
Right. Read it one more time.
Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your soul.
Why? Now, he said, why do you commit this great evil against your souls? That's why he say, wherefore you commit this great evil against your soul. Why would you do it? When you really can get down to the real root and the nitty-gritty of the thing, like you don't really have a reason to abuse yourself like that. Right. You don't. It might seem like you do, because this is the second part. Your circle is also weak. Your circle is watching you destroy yourself. Your circle is looking at you destroy yourself, because your circle is destroyed itself. Right. You get the point? The only person who could point it out to you that, brother or sister, this thing is what you're doing to yourself is absolutely weak. You're a weakling. You're useless to anybody. You can't contribute to nothing because you had to take so many breaks. Right. You get the point? It's somebody who is not in that situation. You get the point? They're going to now open your eyes up to something. And it could be, you might get offended. You might be bothered by it. But the truth, the scripture said, know the truth and it will make you free. There's a freedom that comes from losing the addiction. Right. There's an absolute freedom that comes from it. The brother just talk about when he first stopped getting high, he realized how long the day was. Like nigga, there's so much stuff you could do if you ain't sleep. If you ain't just halfway there, just like you just there, you just losing time. Listen, the cell phone make you lose time. You scrolling on another 30-second reels before long, it's the sunset and your thumb sore. Just don't move no more. You gotta scroll with the other hand. Now imagine all that time you just high and recovering. You're just high and recovering. That's what tomorrow is celebrating. Tomorrow is going to honor that practice, and it's not conducive to what we want. You're weak. It's making you even weaker. It's destroying you. It's destroying your future. It's destroying your people. And I told you the LGBTQ complications with that damn weed that you're gonna roll up tomorrow. You know what I mean? He's gonna invent some blunt roller real soon. I could see it. And then that person, the person who's licked the thing and spitty that thing all the way up, and he gonna be almost obsolete. But then you're gonna request that new weed roller from the oppressor. It ain't gonna be as nice. You're gonna need that wet thing to put in your mouth, and you're gonna realize this weed is making you feminine. It's making you gay. It's making you want to do the other thing. Right? You'll see Uzi Vert, right? Yeah. Leslie, right? Right? You'll see Leslie, right? Right? Anybody still want to rock? Party yeah? This would be like, Cap, you don't let the young boys live. I do let them live, but I could not rock with that shit. That unce music. Unce. Yeah. Leslie now singing Body Yada. Go ahead, let me hear y'all do it and switch your hips. Do the hip switch. I just want to look. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. I done seen that shit coming. You're going to share a blunt with Leslie. Right. Leslie going to lick the whole thing up and roll it up. And your dumb ass gonna be like, yeah, I'm getting high with Uzi. And he put that wet thing on your mouth. Yeah. And you drawing on it. Nasty nigga. nasty nigga. Just good.
Like I said, what's so crazy is the witchcraft that's on those drugs that it puts on you. When you in the world, you don't even fathom that nonsense is gay. Like I remember watching General Hammond's class. I was in the world and I was smoking. Mm-hmm. And he said, "What are you sucking on some butt like a faggot?"
I know he don't just say sucking. He don't just say sucking. He sucking. He do a kind of thing, and that people have accent on the S. The S get 2 more syllables or something.
The faggot had 4 G's. He said it, and it was for some reason the first time it just dawned on me. And I got mad at the video. I'm like, who
are you talking to? I'm talking to, nigga.
I'm sitting by myself. I'm like, who the fuck you talking to? I'm mad. I'm like, hold up, man. Hold up.
Yep. No, you want to fight. Now you want to fight. And that's good. It's good. It's good that there's some fight left in you. Because some people would be like, oh, suck away. Right? There's some people who would just be like, suckity, suck. And just go ahead and take a long draw. So it's good that you got offended at. There was fight left in you. But there's some other people who you think you could tell Snoop something with Khalifa something. They all the way into the thing, and it don't even matter. It don't matter at all. You're gonna get high with the oppressor now with all them bongs and all them old crazy stuff they're doing. What's the one where they roll up all the hot boxing and the shotgun? You go do that with them and see what the hell they do to your dumbass. Yep. You get it, boy? It's crazy. Where we at with the thing? What verse we at?
Jeremiah 44:7 in the middle.
All right. Read it one more time from the top.
Therefore, now thus saith the Lord, the God of hosts, the God of Israel, wherefore commit ye this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain.
Right? We now putting ourselves in a position where we ain't gonna have nobody remaining. You understand? Like this, like everybody talk about it, how the generation this and the generation that. But this generation that we have here is because you was a dope boy in the 90s. Like you had to own that baby. You had to own that crack baby.
That's right.
Right? Come on, want to talk about how Chicago is. Well, all that crack you were slanging, and it was cool back then, right? It was cool to, be a dope boy and sling this. And well, these is them kids now. Yep. These is them kids that's running around, all that funny music nobody don't like. These is crack baby music, all that dancing, that old crazy down the hip switching. There's some other old shit where that floss that them kids like to do. It's, what the hell is that shit? The whole vibe, it comes from a destroyed place. Everything is just destroyed because of the damn drugs. Right. The drug addiction is destroying us. It's really putting us in a place where we cannot function. Right. We cannot function as a society. There's nothing productive coming out of us. It's taking too much energy away from us. So much energy. Shit, forget everybody like that sister who run track, Sha'Carri Richardson, right? Everybody likes Sha'Carri. Everybody supports Sha'Carri. Soon as she get found with the weed, right? Everybody turned on her. Yep. Everybody turned on her. Oh, she's such a disappointment, this, that, the other. Where was the message before? Right. Them same people, they say it's okay. Get high. It's just a little smoke. It's just a little this. It's just a little that. I want to know who brought her the damn weed. Right. Mm-hmm. Like, that's a classic case of you don't give a damn about this person's future. Right. Who's the friends that brought her the weed? Who's the person who she called that brought it? Now, I understand you in a stressful situation. You want to get high. I get that part. But somebody should be like, I ain't bringing it for you. What's wrong with you? You got so and so, you got this to run, you got that to run. Yep. You went, nah, that ain't happening. Where the hell is that part? Right. And everybody now is like, she need better people around her. Okay, you only like that because she's a celebrity, which means you're a hypocrite. Because the young brother or sister who going through the same thing, you not saying they need better people around them for that. The only reason you like her is because she's famous. Right. The only reason, not like her, the reason you're saying that she needs better people. And you all concerned about her support circle. It's because she's a celebrity. But there's, tons of other young brothers and sisters you're not giving that extra attention to because really you don't care. Right. Really you don't care. And if Sha'Carri did not get dope tested and went on to win, you wouldn't care if she got hired. You wouldn't care. Brittany Griner. She was locked up in Russia for terrorism. She was locked up in Russia for shoplifting. You understand? But you're gonna honor 420. Right. If you love Brittany Griner and free Brittany Griner, all you rainbow ass people, you should not ever, pick up a blunt again. Right. Because the blunt put her in there. Right. You get the point? That's if she was not with the CBD oil or whatever the hell it was. There's plenty other prescription painkillers you could bring on the plane. That's your bag of medicine people travel with. You didn't even travel with anything. I think she ordered the stuff over there. It was still in the package. She ordered the stuff meet her in transit or some other nonsense like that. Because of you're a drug addict. Really you're a drug addict and you're trying to cope with all that, changes you did to yourself because you're looking at yourself in the mirror. And then, when Katie sent you that text late in the night, you wish you was still a woman. Yeah, the point she think nobody ain't see that hug. I know what the hell that hug mean. That hug mean get over here quickly. Pay the Uber driver $10 extra to get over here quickly. Rush delivery. You get the point? You was gonna say something, come on?
I said she always be flirting with him. Like she walked up and kissed him, and then Katie was like, "Man, all right, he allowed it."
Man, he know what's up. He know exactly what the deal is. He understands, He understands the height, the importance of. He understands the height of the situation. Man. He understands the level that he needs to be at. She ain't got to go down that route. But once again, she's a drug addict, so she don't want to fight no more. She don't want to fight to be feminine and to be under brother. But now she fight women because she done beat up, I think, her last 2 wives. Right? That's how she did with this other short one here now. I think the other one before, it wasn't a full fisticuff, and that's who she was married to. You're fighting everybody but yourself. Right? 420 is a holiday of weaklings and weak hearts and cowards. And you're gay. I'm sorry to tell you. But you know that you and your man exchanging saliva, and then you'll end up talking about I love you, bro. I love you too, bro. No sweat. Ain't no sweat. Let's continue. Let's continue, please.
Oh, God. Verse 8. In that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whither ye be gone to dwell. Excuse me. That ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth.
What was that?
Verse 8, sir.
Slacky, read it one more time.
Come on. And that ye provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt.
Right? You burn incense to other gods in the land of Egypt. And what we in right now, America is spiritually called Egypt and Babylon. Right. And we burning incense to other gods right here. And tomorrow, you're going to burn incense in Egypt. You're going to be right here in Egypt under Pharaoh again. The economy is gone. There ain't no more economy. It's you right now is all smokes and lies and screens. And, you know, this place is very close to being over the edge. Right. The world is in a, state of disarray. Trying to get in ready to make everybody talk, Mandarin, right? Everybody going to be speaking Mandarin in a second. And the only thing you could do is get high. You need help. You need help. You have a sickness. You can't fight against anything. You will sell your children if the stress is high enough and money is scarce enough. That's where it's going, because the weed you're smoking right now ain't the weed from 25 years ago. Right. That thing got chemicals in it, and you're going to crave. You're going to go into a craving for it, but you're going to do things that you wouldn't normally do. Yeah. Forget about the woman. You're doing things you're not going to normally do. You're going to swear this nigga to secrecy. I didn't know this weed. I didn't know the weed was that strong. Stop lying, bitch. You did know. You did know. You're just shame now. You're shame about it now. And that's that. And you just gonna continue your life being, full of trash like that. Don't do it. All right, keep reading.
Oh God. Whither ye be gone to dwell, that ye might cut yourselves off, and that ye might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers?
Now imagine you say you're gonna be a curse and a what?
And a reproach among all the nations of the earth.
Man, that's how we are looked at. How are we looked at today?
So like thugs.
Go ahead.
We call thugs and criminals. Like what's her name? Hillary Clinton or whatever. We looked at as super predators.
We looked at as a reproach among the nations, a curse and a reproach. Like, how are we looked at as a curse?
Like every store we go to. Now I said, even for the Asian community, like a curse, like on they, like in a sense, in a sense, even though we the only buyers, and in one context, we looked at as a curse. Like every time we step in these stores, hurry up and buy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so how are we a curse to them?
Like we gonna steal from them.
Okay, I'll take that. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They might be a curse from like when the nations look at us like, like a stupid people, like nothing, like you slave, you was a cotton picker, y'all still can't get it right to today. Y'all poor, you know what I'm saying? Y'all have nothing but thieves and y'all can't be trusted. That
Yeah. Or go ahead.
Salaki, when it comes to employment, they look at us like we lazy workers. We gonna bring the business down. When it comes to interracial dating or whatever, you bring them home to the family look at them like you giving us a bad name, bringing this nigga in. You know what I mean?
That's a curse. I'll give you another one for the curse. The moving into their neighborhood. Moving into the neighborhood, they look at you, look at us like it's a curse. what you doing here? Hell, somebody move into our neighborhood. You have a new neighbor. You're a nigga. You looking at them like. I hope he don't steal. I hope they're all right. I hope we are cursed all around, and we are byword and we are reproach. And 420 is going to make it worse. And we think it's a badge of honor, and it's not. It's absolutely not. All right, any more?
Come on. Have ye forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah, and in the streets of Jerusalem?
Right. Go ahead.
Come on. They are not humbled even unto this day, neither have they feared, nor walked in my law, nor in my statutes that I set before you and before your fathers.
Brother, this whole thing here, you read it down, it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's a bad place for us to be in as the children of Israel, right? 420 is an absolute weak holiday. It's not a good gauge for yourself. You're still juvenile. You're still very childish. It's like a child who can't stop playing with a toy. When it's time to sleep, they just can't get the toy away from them. They can't do nothing. And you the same way. You can't say no. You can't say, you can't stop. You get the point? Right. You can't stop yourself from doing it, and you're going to be useless. You are useless to your nation, and you should want to be useful to your nation. You should want to add something to your people and to be something for your people. Even that Shakara Richardson, she couldn't even put what she was doing, what it meant for black people. I don't think black athletes understand how much them winning means to us. Like them winning to us, it's finally we get to win at something. It means more than just a gold medal. It's a social reward. It's a huge step socially. And if you have that situation going on, you can't help yourself with this drug addiction. Right. The drug addiction is just going to destroy you and destroy any hope your people have in you. Like that Shakara Richardson thing, it showed our nakedness on a few levels. One, how quick we would turn on our people, right? We turn on our people that quick. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, Michael Phelps, didn't turn on him that quick. I don't think he lost on endorsements. Where's the other one who went down in Brazil and I think what is this? They say he sexually assaulted a woman or robbed somebody during the Olympics.
He lied and said he got robbed.
He lied and said he got robbed. And when it was, I think he went to buy drugs too. Yeah, right. Lied and said he got robbed, and they ain't do nothing to him. I think it's Thorpe, not Thorpe, right? I think it's one of them old big nose swimmers, right? Went down there and lied about the whole experience because of the whole drug addiction, and their people did not turn on them like how we turn on each other. So you have our people who have a problem, and then you have those of us who, in some sort of position that could help, that could now start to, just like how they're pushing it, like it's okay, this is okay. You could now start to push that, like, man, that's not what we do. That's not black. Right. That's white people stuff. Like, oh, like we have in our culture, man, that's white people thing. Right. We don't do that. That's white people thing. Right. But somehow we accepting being a damn drug addict, accepting being weak. Like, leave the drugs for the oppressor, man. The oppressor, he is built for demons. He is built to house demons. Right. You get the point? He is built for that. How you know that? Weinstein, Epstein, Hitler, Mussolini, Napoleon. Like, these is people who ran countries. Huge, Fortune 500 companies. Trump. Right. That's Donald Trump. This is Trump Towers. And you got to pay for sex? And you got to pay her to shut her mouth. Usually a nigga just go ahead, tell everybody. Go ahead, tell it. Sister, go to the Facebook one time. Fire, send. I ain't paying you to shut up. Go ahead, tell the world. But he have a problem because they built for demons, where they could house the demon and still run a company, still run Wall Street, still run the country, still do whatever. You do it. You turn into RuPaul. You turn into, you know, the drag queen something. You're not built for that. You're not that same person.
Right.
You get the point? It absolutely makes you weak. It takes away from who you are. You're a drug addict.
Right.
Tomorrow you're going to be a drug addict. Happy 420, you're drug addict. You damn drug addict. All right. And if there's no more questions with that, we'll pass the class over to Priest and Officer Chappelle. You could clip all this too.
I.S.U.P.K security announcers. We at the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. Rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to shade themselves in the world. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head and speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6 month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashur. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give it to the Treasury Department of Teacher, Priest Fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, Feast of First Fruits, starts after the Sabbath, Feast of Unleavened Bread, sundown, Sunday, April the 9th, 2023. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day, Monday, May the 29th, 2023. Start before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. So, like I said, did you want to add anything else?
No, that's it.
Come. Remind Akim and Akwaki to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in school, you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirts, black pants, black headband or scarf. And with that, I say I might you, which means to stand. Sisters, you may remain seated.
No, I'm standing present.
Come. Sisters, I might you, which means to stand. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim. Todah. Hayah. Shamka. Yahweh. Malak with Ka. Taba'ah. Ratazayah. Hayah. I.S.U.P.K. Ba'aratazah. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayim. Lathananam. Lakam. Kal. Yawam. Lasalak now. Kabawak now. Kasalak now. Kabawak now. Wala'ah. Yahanna, Wanasaya one, Abo, Hawashayana, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Watapara, Yawalanya, Aman.
In the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be.
Saw, which means to turn.
Good.
Sisters, you may since you may be seated, we'll give a courtesy salute to the teacher, men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Emmanuel, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatham. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatham.
Yahanna, Saw, which means to turn. Sisters, Almighty, which means to stand. We'll give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Mighty Shabbat, Emmanuel, Barak,
Yahweh Shabbat Alatam Hashem Yahushua.
Yahanna, class dismissed.